Today on How Page, I want to talk horse fencing, what I've learned from building horse for my sisters. Building fence for my sister's horses that have been parked out here. I'm working on the slough fence today to get them in on some of this grass. And I have to say that the things you can buy at Tractor Supply and the kinds of things like, look at this, that she tried to make and use out here and these kind of things, they don't work very well. So I'm talking about a couple key supplies that turned it into a possible job instead of an impossible, always fixing broken stuff. First of all, let's talk about fence posts, insulators. Well, I guess first let's talk about poly rope. Okay, for horses, looking into it, you got that tape stuff, which is all right if it's not too windy, not too long of stretches, and you can run it enough tension, I guess. But the poly rope works better and is easier to hold. The only thing is it's a little less visible. So horses got to know, before I go any further, I should say I am not a horse expert. I've dealt with my sister's horses. Horses, as near as I can tell, will do stupid stuff and they'll find ways to hurt themselves. So obviously I'm not responsible for your horses and what you decide to do with them. So please don't listen to everything I say as far as safety goes. This is what we've come with for our horses. For my sister's horses. They're not my horses. This is the insulator from Premier. And Premier, this is the poly rope from Premier. And I have to say, I bought stuff from them and it works. Everything works. But their insulators actually are pretty pricey. In their driver, I don't know if probably user error, but I snapped it off. Probably because I put in an impact driver. But I actually like these guys better. And part of that is they come with a driver when you order them. I'll try to put the link in the description. Half the time I forget, but when you find ones like this and it says it comes with a driver, it just goes on your drill and you can put them in without pre-drilling any holes. And they're definitely better than your Tractor Supply. I just got to say, Tractor Supply does not have stuff you would think for all the horse people that shop there. They have good horse stuff, but man, everything I've used from them is like not easy to use. All right, and the last secret. So poly rope, right, from Premier Fence. Black and white, horses can see it pretty well if you walk the fence line with them. Insulators, buy them online, I don't know, from Amazon or somebody like that. And hopefully put the description there. And then these springs. Okay, the thing about them is it holds even pressure on them. That's what this one's on. Let me show you one spring for a whole pole. You know, it's probably 300-foot pole. Up, elevation change, and it stays tight. And wire spacing actually on your fence. Wire spacing, we found 2 wire works. Okay, I was nervous about that. We don't have real small horses. For normal sized horses, 2 wire works. 2 foot and 4 foot. And I was doing 3 wire and 5 wire, but man, that's way more expensive. So poly wire, use the springs to hold tension. Oh, and then you can see over here, you can buy these fence terminators and all kind of fancy things, but just add ties to it. What I found out is with these kind of insulators, which what I like about them also over the Premier fence insulators, I can just screw them in at the terminus of it. Okay, put a little jumper wire over to the next corner, and you'll notice that I pull from, so I'm getting ready to do a pull here. I'm going to attach to the spring and then pull and attach to the non-spring side, just one spring on each side. You can put more if you want to hold the tension even better and have more give, but anyways, and then tighten it off whatever way you can do it and clip it to the size you need. But those are the tips. So one other thing, if you're looking for cheap wooden posts and you happen to be in an orchard ground area, like my uncle probably had 1,000 of these, my neighbor 1,000 of them. These are tree stakes. He says they'll probably only last 3 or 4 years. But easy to use drill-in connectors and cheaper than T-posts. Like in my area, you can pretty much get these whenever you want used for $1 a piece. They got a little pointy thing on the end. You drive the posts in and then screw them in there. All right, I think that's all about horse fencing. Hopefully this saves you a little time, maybe a little bit of money. And like I said, horses do find ways to injure themselves, especially if you're just pulling them out of a stall. But it seems to me, at least with my sister's horses, that the stupid stuff they do reduces, when they get in to an area and they're not tightly confined and they have a little time to get used to like being horses and how to step over things without hurting them and how not to kick things and how not to run through things. And they also improve if their herd situation, like the horses they're with, is stable and they have that worked out, man, they freak out if you switch that up on them. So anyways, good luck with horses. Hopefully you don't have to fence them in, but if you do, here, those are some tips for you.